good evening, good morning, happy holidays. To anyone who celebrates it, happy belated uh, Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, and all the rest of them. Thank you for stopping by this week in hip hop. I'm your host, Godless Reggie. Last week I took a week off. Was a little bit busy working. Apologize for that. So we're gonna catch up today. Normally I do this show on Sundays. Um, Hopefully, my good friend NJ will be stopping by. I think she's running a little bit behind, but we've had a definitely interesting week or two in hip hop. Again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to anyone who celebrates it. I got a chance to catch a couple new albums that came out in the past 2 weeks. Also, we're going to discuss the news and things that have been going on in hip hop. So, some of the latest things that I've been hearing that have been going on is about Beyonce's halftime performance at the football game on Christmas. I didn't actually get a chance to watch that because I was over someone's house, actually my sister's house, and I really didn't know how to work her TV. She has a particular account. I couldn't figure out how to turn it to a regular channel, so I missed a lot of the games when I was over there. But I seen some of the highlights of the actual event, but I really didn't get a chance to see her performance. I wish I would have got a chance to check that out. I also got a chance to listen to that Redman Muddy Waters too. And about a week ago, I got a chance to listen to the Mozzy album with Kalani for real, for real. Um, let's speak on some of the news that has been happening right now. Give me a second here. Okay. So in recent news, we have lost someone, y'all, from the hip hop community. Give me a second. Blow this up real good so everybody can see it. Now, this is according to TMZ. I know the information is true. He did pass away, but I'm just putting that out there. Rapper OG Mako died at 37 after sustaining self-inflicted gunshot wound. Rapper OG Maceo has died 2 weeks after suffering a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was 32 years old. Mako, best known for his song "You Guessed It," passed away surrounded by his family Thursday night at a Los Angeles hospital, according to TMZ. Mako's family later confirmed his death in a post shared on the rapper's Instagram account Friday. With heavy hearts, we share the heartbreaking news of the passing of our beloved Ben, known to the world as OG Mako. The family statement began his life was a testament to resilience, creativity, and boundless love. Through his music, passion, and unwavering spirit, he touched so many lives and left a lasting impact. Sad situation. I don't know what that brother was going through, but anybody out there that's going through things right now, find somebody to talk to, seek help because I actually lost a friend of mine, very, very close friend. Not family, but closer to me than a lot of family members are. I've known him since I've been about 4 or 5 years old. He decided to take his life. He had a couple issues or whatever. Self-medicated, drank a little bit too much one night, and unalived himself. It's a sad situation. Um, there's always another way. I mean, things can get better. I understand people are going through things, but there's some people. I'm not judging that man because I don't know what he was going through. But there's some people that didn't even have the advantages that they'll never get those opportunities you had. So, bro, it's never that serious. But rest in peace to him. Um, I hope his family gets through this situation as fast as possible. I know you'll never get truly get over a loved one, a family member, but I just hope that they get some healing or whatever. Okay, in other news, that I've been hearing about is about Young Thug and his prison calls to his girlfriends. I've been hearing a lot about that. I don't know the exact details, so I'll read some of it. Let me pull it up. Okay. So Young Thug's disloyalty. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit more. Maybe not. So Young Thug reveals Mariah the scientist is mad at him over jail calls. Mariah the scientist has not forgiven Young Thug for embarrassing her and being disloyal while she held him down when he was behind bars. Thugger revealed in leaked cell calls that he had 10 girlfriends behind bars and he will call them to kill time while in jail during his YSL RICO trial. The rapper also claimed that Mariah loved him too much. She loves me too much, sometimes too much. Thug said on the lead call, it scares me how much because it's like, man, if I do something, if I smack something or something like that, you'd probably be devastated. Fans begged Mariah the scientist not to take the rapper back, and it seems Thugger has been trying to make amends, but his efforts are failing. She's so mad. I said Merry Christmas, and she said thank you. He tweeted alongside a skull emoji. Fans chimed in. You heard her, Thug. You heard her right before Christmas. One follower wrote, "Don't respond. Just react to the message with a thumbs up. Plus, order some flowers with freshly baked cookies to her house, and she'll be back." Another replied. I don't know. I hope that situation works out the best for him. I look at things a little bit different because I've been incarcerated when I was younger. Um, in my opinion, I think that some of these other women that were quote unquote holding him down were probably helping you. That's a lot to take on a relationship, you know, with a person that's behind bars. So you can't really. I mean, you. I guess you can be mad. I can't say that you can't be mad. You can, you can choose what you want to choose and have your own mind. But it's not like you can make the claim that he was having sex with these ladies. Maybe he was before then. And you can be mad about that. But truthfully, if you're mad that he just was, calling them to kill time, I think that's a little bit selfish. I understand that you probably was devoting a lot of your time and he was lying to you, so I would be mad for that reason. But I don't think it's that big of a deal because at the same time he could have been calling your phone 24/7. I'm saying that because I know the things that I used to do when I was younger and I used to get in trouble and things like that. It's a stressful situation, especially if you're facing some serious time now. If he was facing like a year or two, 6 months or something like that, that's one thing. But when you have thoughts of your mind that you ain't never coming home, one of the things that you really need is somebody to talk to as much as you can. The main arguments and fights that are in jail is about the phone or things that people have heard their girlfriend or their family members tell them on the phone. You're so worried about the outside world. You just want to have a link, whatever that link may be, to the outside world. Whatever it is, you'll take it. So shout out to Young Thug. Glad he's home. Hope he works everything out with his girl if that's what he claims her to be, or if he's gonna treat her right. So one thing I definitely wanted to touch on was the Beyonce situation. I want to see what the big deal is. I do know that obviously that Beyonce is fine. She's been fine her whole life, but I want to know what the big deal about her halftime performance is. I've been seeing a lot of negative comments. I don't know if it's because she's a married woman or if age is catching up to her. I don't know what it is because I haven't actually seen it. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it for a little bit, and plus I'm gonna get me a refill of my coffee.
15 innocence was gone astray. Had to leave my home at an early age. I saw my a friend, that's a daddy grind. All my tender problems had to leave behind. Spent 19 summers and I'm not in my bed. On the back of the bus in a bunk with the band. Going so hard, gotta choose myself. Underpaid and overwhelmed. I might cook clean, but still won't fold. Still working on my life, you know. Only God knows, only God knows, only God knows. 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my fears away till the sun is sunset on a holy night on a long back road. All these tears I hide. 16 carriages driving away while I watch them ride with my fears away till the sun is sunset on a holy night on a long back road. All these tears I hide. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the night of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. One, two, three, four. She coming. Do what it is. Yeah. Hello, girls. Hello, fellas. Those petty ones can't touch me. Why? Because I'm a clever girl. We clapping. We're drumming. Family living died in America. Good old USA. Whole lot of red and white and blue. Yeah, history can be erased. Looking for a new America. It's hard working time and a half for half the pay. Yeah. I just pray that we don't crash. Keep my Bible on the dash. We gotta keep the faith.
So far, she just looks like classic Beyonce to me. She sounds the same, looks the same. Haven't seen her break it down, start dancing yet, but I'm gonna see. Cause so far, she just looks like her normal stuff. If you ask me.
Wildfire burnt his house down. Insurance ain't gonna pay no penny pay. Yeah. Hold it, hold the homo, nigga, please. Hard working man ain't got no money in the bank. Yeah. Turn up the flame on his radio. He can't watch the news nowadays. I just pray that he don't crash. Keep the pistol on the dash. We gotta keep the faith. Ooh. Texas, we gotta keep the faith. Who they came to see? Who grabbed me like me? Don't make me get up out my seat. Don't make me come up off of this beat. Bounce on the hit game. Bounce on the hit game. I ain't in no game, but I got shoot up. Staring down the barrel of his gun. Yes, he shot me down. I died, and someone brought me back to life, but never took my senses. Bounce on the hit game. 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 Staring down the barrel of my gun. Yes, I shot you down. He cried the day he realized that lies were hidden in my kisses. Bounce on the hit game. Bounce on the hit game. I ain't no regular singer. Now come get everything you came for.
You can hear when I stealth. All this Chevy opinion red. Money long we can't fit in the bed. It don't matter what nobody says. Country boy, I'm dead. Going smoke out from my bro, man. Cut it out before it get out of hand. This ain't calibrations. We don't need highways. We take back roads. Never been riding back. That's third. Pop on my saddle. Snack on my feet, they rattle. In the back, only everything can last. So I'm still going up like a ladder, and I'm still in the
She
field.
gone. Like a mechanical bull. A good night. The money is cool. Look at that horse. Look at that horse. Look at that horse. They call me pretty little thing. And I love to turn on. Boy, I let you be my strings. Oh, love it down to the bone.
But you know I'm on my bull. Let you ride. Rodeo in your room, they shoot great suits with perfect timing. Love it when you tease me in them jeans, baby, don't need designer. When that thing gon' have your plane, baby girl, you the pilot.
Baby, let me rattle that snake with my venom. Denim on denim on denim on denim. Be your high fashion in a simple white tee. Be your these blues in my jeans. Oh, my sister on Celestine. God lights shining through the in between. I got saddle his with the sea. Come on, you pretty little thing. Boy, I wanna take you home.
Girl, I like you beat me by jeans. The way you popping out my phone. I love you down to the bone. Yes, ma'am.
Jolie, Jolie, Jolie. I'm warning you, don't come from my man. Jolie, 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 Jolie. Don't take the chance because you think you can. Your beauty is beyond compare. It's more than beauty, it's seductive stairs to come between a family and a happy man. Jolene, I'm a woman too. The games you play, nothing new. Your peace depends on how you move, Jolene. Jolene, I know I'm a queen, Jolene. Still a Creole banjo chick from Louisiana.
Cowboy Carter, I'm the strip imagine. Light up this juke joint.
Everybody put your hands together. I'm so honored to be in Texas right now. Let's take it to the flow now. Cause you know it's only right that we do Texas Hold'em for the first time in Houston, Texas on Christmas. Y'all help me sing. This ain't Texas. Ain't no Hold'em. So lay your car down, 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 down. So park your Lexus. Throw your keys up. Stick around, round, 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 round. I'll be damned if I can't slow dance with. Come pour some sugar on me, honey, too. It's a real life boogie and a real life hold down. Don't be a come take it to the floor now. Woo! Huh. There's a tornado in my city. Hit the basement. That sure ain't pretty. Rugged whiskey. We're surviving. A breakup, it's this sweet redemption, passing time, yeah. Ooh, one step to the right. We headed to the dive bar. We always call it nice. Ooh, run me to the left, me in the middle, blue. I can't read your mind. This ain't Texas, ain't no holding. Well, they got cars down, 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 down. Whoa, fucking Lexus, throw your keys out. Stick around, round, 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 round. Stick around, I'll be damned if I cannot dance with you. Come pour some sugar on me, honey, too. It's a real life boogie and a real life hold down. Don't be a come take it to the floor now. Woo! Coming at us, too hot to think straight, too cold to panic. All of the problems just feel dramatic. Now we're running to the first bar, now we're fire. Ooh, you run to the left. It's a real life boogie and a real life hold down. Don't be a come take it to the floor now. Ooh. Now I'm gonna need all my cowboys to the dance floor. You heard me, Texas. Get to the dance floor. Merry Christmas. God bless y'all. Thank you so much.
Okay. Um, I'm glad that we had it online so I can see it. That's the first time I actually watched it. I think it was dope. I mean, it was vintage Beyonce. If you ask me, I don't see nothing wrong with it. She still looks like she's about 25, 26 years old. Still got her moves. I've never actually took the time to listen to her country album or whatever, so I guess it's okay. I'm not gonna, stream it tonight or nothing like that and listen to it. But the performance definitely was dope. That's a performance she definitely could have charged about $600 or $700 per head to come in. I'm sure she got a pretty penny for it either way, but I think it's dope. She definitely represented for her town. Um, she showed her ass. Great performance. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't, see no signs of age. You know, she's out there like LeBron James is right now. 40 and still doing her thing. So I'm gonna do one of these reviews that I actually did. That I'm gonna play or read a little bit from her mother because her mother was biting back at some of the naysayers that had something to say negative about her performance for whatever reason. I don't know what their reasons were or whatever, but she's been performing like that 20 plus years. I don't see any problem with it. Give me 1 second. See if I can find this actual new album by Redman. And thanks everybody again for stopping by, everybody that's watching. Okay, give me a second. I'm just pulling this up just so we can have some kind of visual. I guess this is somebody else's review. I see no reason to read it. Okay, this is just a track list. I think it's a good idea to show that. Okay, so the Redman Muddy Waters album 2 is a dope album. Got a lot of dope features. Orange Juice Jones 2, Method Man, Faith Evans, Kid Capri, Chic Luke, Snoop Dogg, Keith Turner, Avion Crockett, Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah, Shaq, Lords of the Underground, Raw Digga, Lady Luck, Chanel Live, Heather B, Nikki D, Artifacts, Mr. Cream, Melanie Rutherford, and KRS-One. It's a longer album, honestly, but enjoyable. It's not repetitive in any way. In typical Redman fashion, there's plenty of skits, most of which are funny. This is part two to my personal favorite album by Redman, Muddy Waters. Red shows that he's a god MC, as Chris Rock would say, with bars and punchlines that can compete with any rapper in any era, in my opinion. The album has 32 tracks, so if this were a CD or if this was in the CD era, it definitely would, bare minimum, be a double album. One of the things that I like about this project is the way that he laid down the tracks. And what I mean by that is like I was worried um that I would get bored from the first track on the album. But after two or three tracks, I noticed that I was two stepping and you know pumping my fists and shit like that. So I definitely started realizing that it was getting better as I was going on. I'm not from Jersey, but he makes me proud of New Jersey because on several tracks he states that that's his home state, and how much love he got for it. He actually names a couple tracks after the actual state itself. So to break down the tracks, the first track really is just a skit. MW2 Welcome. Um, the fuck going on. That track, it wasn't one of my favorites, but he provides bars. This is Redman. We're talking about track three, definitely dope. It's a hot song. It's featuring OJ. Track four gives praise to Jersey. Love the hook, dope. Track five is a skit. Track six is featuring Method Man, definitely fire. Let me scroll down some. Track seven it's an okay track. It speaks on the old school more than anything. He's just reminiscing and saying shit like don't you wish it was like those days? A lot of us we do that with particular things. We all think back in the day things were better. Um, Track A, ignorant. It kind of copies the old dirty bastard flow. I liked it. Track 9, skit. 10 is definitely fire. It's a Dr. Dre type beat. I don't know who the exact producer is. Track 11 features Faith Evans. Um, it's good feel music. Like it's uplifting, makes you have a good outlook on life. You know, makes you feel better. Track 12. Uh, I like the message of it, but I really didn't enjoy the track so much. Track 13, on some bullshit, is it shows the comedic side of Redman. I think if Redman really put his efforts into it, he probably could be a comedian. Um, Track 14, skit. Track 15, I definitely liked it. Track 16, halfway through this album, if it was a double album or halfway through, I would say track 16 at the halfway point is the best song. Track 17, it features Chic Luke's, excuse me, Chic Luch. I can't say it. I don't know. For some reason today, it reminds me of a Ghostface song, like the first song on Ghostface's solo project. The next track is short, but it's definitely fire. Track 19 is just a skit. Excuse me. Track 20. I'm biased because I am a connoisseur of herbal, so I definitely love that. It's called Kush. Features Snoop. Definitely a banger. Track 21. Um, it comes out with dope rhymes. It kind of sounds like the beat was produced by Eric Sermon. Shout out to Eric Sermon. EPMD. um Track 22, he's kicking knowledge more than anything. It's for the youngsters. The girl Kiki, or if I'm pronouncing her name incorrectly, Key, is definitely nice. She definitely has bars. Key Turner, she definitely has nice bars. Check her out. The next track is just a skit. Track 24 is not one of my favorite tracks on the album, but again, there's so many. Track 25 is definitely fire. That's my favorite song on the whole album. It has so many different people in it. It has Shaq, Heather B. I think it's well, I know it's it's about Newark, as he calls it, Brick City. So he has all his favorite artists. I don't know if that's every artist from that city because it's such a big city and there's a lot of people from Jersey. So there's a lot of people on that song. It's definitely the best song on the album. Track 26 is short again, but it's definitely fire. 27. Um, it sounds like a Pharrell type beat. All three of the verses on it from all three of the people are definitely dope as well. The next track is a skit. Track 29, I definitely love it. Um, Superman Lover number 7. The way the beat breaks down and comes back and changes, I love that. Um, the next track is just a continuation of Superman Lover. If you're a Redman fan, you'll understand. If not, you won't. Um, but it's definitely dope. However you look at it. Um, Track 31, Look Here. I definitely like it because it puts me in like the 80s, early 90s type feel with the way that he's rhyming and the way that KRS-One is rhyming as well. The last track again, I'm biased because I am a smoker of marijuana, so I definitely like it. But overall, I would have to give the Muddy Waters 2 a 4.5 out of 5 mics, or 4.5 out of 5 stars, whichever way you look at it. Definitely is a dope project. Excuse me, Redman definitely still has it. Definitely got to check that out, especially if you're 80s baby like myself, or early 90s baby, or even late 70s baby, or a fan of New York City, East Coast hip hop. Either way, definitely check that out. That's the best album I've heard in a while. So shout out to Redman, and all the artists that are on there. Definitely is a dope project. Give me a second. Let me take this off. But yeah, that's definitely a dope album. I will be listening to that again. I have the Tidal app on my phone. I got it a few years ago free with a phone that I had purchased, and ever since then I've been hooked. I never had Spotify or anything like that. So that's the only one I ever had, and I know that I'm putting money back into my community, one way or the other, however you look at it. It also pays the artists, all of them do. But I definitely like it because Jay Z owns it, basically. So shout out to Jay Z, shout out to Tidal, and all the other streaming apps as well. So let's see what Beyonce's mother was talking about. Okay, Tina knows, is well aware. Some are popping off over Beyonce's Netflix Christmas Day halftime show performance, and she's not having it. As you know, Beyonce took the stage at the Texans Ravens game earlier this week in her hometown of Houston. But of course, there are some, such as Dave Portnoy, who bashed the show and the superstar. Mama Knows recently took to Instagram to clap back at haters, saying in part, "It's mind boggling to me that you would take your precious Christmas day and watch a performance of someone you hate and you don't think has talent so that you can go talk ish about her later." Let me continue reading. Give me a second. TK went on to opine with that trolls were making it pretty obvious that they're into Beyonce more than they wanted to admit, adding, "You cannot help but to watch and critique and comment and say dumb, ridiculous stuff that makes you look like a joke." Of course, the trolls Tina's referring to had little to do with shutting down the big show, with experts reporting showing over 27 million people tuned in to watch the Queen blow the roof off of the stadium. So I understand what you're saying, Tina Knowles, but shout out to Beyonce, shout out to the haters. And you know what? I'm mad right now because now that I realized that the game was on Netflix, I could have watched it the whole damn time when I was at my sister's house because she definitely had Netflix. I just wasn't unaware that the game was on Netflix. I think that situation is a little weird too. Like all the games are starting to be on these streaming apps now, and I don't like that. I don't like that. I also don't like how they're putting some of the NFL games on days that traditionally other sports have their games on, like Christmas. That's weird. Like, why would you do that? Um, you're competing with ratings. A lot of times, you have the same demographic of people that are watching the shit. So you're fighting for ratings, and people are gonna be flicking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And not everybody has Netflix and shit like that. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to blame that on the networks because your network's been in existence forever. You mean to tell me you can't outbid Netflix and shit like that? I mean, I know that they're getting money. I know everybody has Netflix, except for me. I have Hulu, um, and I also have Amazon Prime. But still, I have to give them the blame on that shit. I don't really like the quality of the games when I watch them either. I'm not gonna lie, that video I just played looked really good. But normally when I'm watching football games on streaming apps, it looks clearer on regular TV to me than it does on those apps. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. Maybe it's just a mental thing. Maybe I'm just used to seeing NFL on CBS or NFL on Fox. I don't know. But the shit, it doesn't look right. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Well, I did do one other album review. I tried to step outside my comfort zone a little bit. Um, Most times when I do album reviews, I typically do artists that I personally like, that I listen to on a daily basis. I'm not gonna make the claim that I listen to Redman on a daily basis, right? He's an older rapper. He's got to be pushing 50, right? Yeah, actually, he says it on the album, so he is pushing 50, right? I'm not a spring chicken myself. I'm 42 years old, so a lot of times I'm kind of biased with what I listen to. Not in this case with age. Um, it's just something that I don't particularly listen to, right? A lot of my friends are big time West Coast fans. I'm a West Coast fan, but I like more uh, of the old school West Coast. I remember at one time I wouldn't even listen to East Coast music at all. I didn't really like it. but I like a lot of the older West Coast artists. The Game, Snoop. I do like Kendrick Lamar, but Kendrick Lamar is not really young. People act like he's 20 something years old. That man is mid to late 30s right now, late 30s. Because I know he's '80s baby. Um, I like the traditional West Coast artists, and a lot of times I like the LA artists. There are some Northern California artists I like too. I'm not being biased. Everybody has their likes and dislikes. I'm not hating on these artists or nothing like that. I'm not saying, oh, they sorry as fuck. It's just not my thing. Um, so one person that a lot of my friends listen to, a lot of my friends, is Mozzy. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I think the reason why I'm not a fan is because to me the beats aren't catchy. They're like repetitive, kind of like how. And I'm not knocking this man's hustle. I'm not knocking his craft because I actually think he can rap, right? But to make a comparison, it's kind of like, how a lot of the Detroit beats now sound similar, and they had for a while. They kind of sound like an '80s type of beat. Um, to me, a lot of Northern California artists, their beats sound like that, and I don't know. It's just not catchy to me. It's boring in a way. So Mozzie, I'm not really a fan. I'm not gonna say he's sorry. I have heard songs I actually like, and I think he can rap. But I tried to step out of my comfort zone, and review his album and try not to look like a hater. So he dropped the album recently. I wrote down a review. I think, give me 1 second. I'll pull it up so we can have some kind of visual on it. Another reason why I wanted to do his album, because I remember the same way I'm saying about Mozzie right now. At one point, I used to feel like that about Boosie, and my little brother and sisters used to be telling me like, "Man, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. He's sweet. He's sweet. He dope." And I didn't listen to him because I didn't like the way his voice sounded. But the whole time, now I realize now that they were right. I can go back and listen to the same stuff that they was listening to then, and I like it now. But at the time, I just wasn't a fan. Sometimes some things need to grow on you. So the name of the album is For Real. I'm trying to find the track list. Give me a second. Okay, I think I found it. Shooter's moving a little bit slow today. Okay. So yes, the album is Lady Luck by Mozzie and Kalan, for real, for real. The track list, BBL, which is the first track on it that I listened to, obviously. Bad Bitches I Like. Mozzie has decent bars, Detroit style beat. Um, My Hood. Well, let me stick to that song. The first song, again, I like Mozzie's bars. Kalan, to me, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna probably say this about 10 more times. He's good at singing hooks, but I think that he needs to work on this flow. I really don't. I really don't like the way he raps on this song. Um, but again, excuse me, Bozzy. Mozzie does decent bars on this song. And if you're a fan of West Coast music or Detroit music, you'll definitely like it because it's that type of beat. Um, it wasn't my favorite song, but I would say that track is okay. Track two, honestly, I really don't like it in my hood. Um, Track three, Eggs in the Morning, uh, decent production on it. Beat was fire, basically. I like the way it's laid out. Mozzie is straight flowing, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I like that song. Um, Again, I don't really like the guy Kalan on that song either. The next track, Speeding. Um, what I'll say about that is it's okay. It's not bad. It's good. If 1 to 10, I say it's a five, maybe. Um, Track five, Size Me Up, is um the best song on there to me. It's dope. Mozzie thankfully comes on blazing as soon as the song comes on, right? Because a lot of the first couple songs, it's the other guy rapping first, so it's just like, oh. But Mozzie comes on blazing, so it's the best song on there. Track six, I like it as well. It's Detroit style beat, um, classic or vintage Mozzie flow. Kalan actually spits truthfully on the song. He kills the hook too. I will say Kalan is dope with them hooks. Track seven, love the hook by Kalan. Overall, he makes the song on that one. Truthfully, track eight comes on with a gangster beat. I like the beat, but I don't know too much about the song. I really don't care for it. Track nine, good hook, but the song is like it makes you a little sad. It's kind of like something that you think that Rod Wave is gonna come on and just start talking about misery. You know what I'm saying? Track 10, Mozzie definitely sounds good. But not a song, not a good song in my opinion. Overall, I'm not a fan of this project, to be honest with you. I will say that Mozzie provides decent Northern California bars and flow. I will say that for sure. And Kalan is a talented ab liver and a hook singer, right? But I think he needs either to work on his flow or just to stick to doing hooks, you know. Um with this album, I stepped out my comfort zone, like I said, and I actually look forward to hearing more Mozzie CDs from here on out. Um but if I had to give this a grade, um, out of 5 stars, out of 5 mics, I'm gonna have to give it 2.5 because the dude Kalan for real, I really don't like it. Um, I'm glad I listened to it because I'm starting to see why people like Mozzie, but this is not. It's not a good album. I don't know if he owed dude some money or he just want to work with him and develop him or something like that. I'm hoping that's maybe the case, but for right now, no, he ain't really it. But shout out to Mozzie. Shout out to Kalan for real, for real. Um, Also, I give you a couple of other albums that came out this week. I haven't got a chance to listen to them yet. That album actually, the two I actually reviewed are from last week. They came out on Christmas Eve actually. So Ice Spice definitely came out with an album, and it's titled. Give me 1 second. Y2K. I'm Just a Girl Deluxe. I don't know if this is just a remake of another album of hers or not, but check that out. The features that I can see on it are Travis Scott, Gunna, Central C, NLE Chopper, The Baby, BB Tricks, Anul AA. I think that's a Latin artist, if I'm not mistaken. Um, NLE Chopper actually came out with an album as well that dropped. Oh, excuse me. That dropped on Christmas Eve as well. I haven't got a chance to check that out. It's called Picasso, Season and Slut Season. Check that out. Young Thug, Slime Season 2. Well, that's actually a remake from 2015. And what else? Yeah, I think that's all that came out in the past couple weeks, besides remakes of albums that are already out. But definitely check out that Mozzie album and definitely check out the other albums that I just mentioned. That Muddy Waters is a classic, especially if you're a fan of old school um, hip hop at this point. Um, I want to thank everybody for stopping by, for taking the time out their evening to come by to check me out. Catch me tomorrow morning around church time, 11:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Faith, Lies, and Confusion. I'm gonna do the LDS Church, the Mormons, Part 4. I got a little bit of motivation for that. We could talk about that for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I did 3 episodes. They all were fire. So check that out. In the next couple weeks after the new year, I'm gonna start me and my crew. We're gonna start back doing AAA podcast sports on Wednesdays. So check us out there. Also, shout out to the Pandemus African and his show, Cooking with the Pan. Check that out. Is a very funny show. It's animated. He's definitely dope. Provides dope contact. So check him out. Who else? Also catch me on Product of the 80s podcast. We do current events, sports, politics, things like that. Shout out to NJ. Who else? Shout out to Ouija666. Shout out to D80. Who else? Shout out to everybody that stopped by. I'm about to cut the music on and get up out of here. Good night, y'all.